let's talk about how quitting my Etsy shop led to an ADHD diagnosis after spending 30 years on this planet. Now that's not that wild. Most women get diagnosed in their 30s and 40s, which is ridiculous, but a whole nother point for a whole different video. Yeah, about a year and a half ago, I was overwhelmed, I was stressed. I had been running my shop since I was about 14. I'd been running it for about 13 years. All whilst either full-time educated or fully full-time employed. And I was just like, I just need a break. I wanted to rebrand. I wanted to do so much with the shop. And I was like, I'll just take like 4 months off. This was December. I was like, I'll come back in April, rebranded, new products. It's going to be amazing. It was not amazing because the time that I thought I had just didn't exist, which I don't know whether, if you're not neurospicy, you'll like understand this, but all the time I thought I had and I would spend on the shop just didn't exist. It went into the black hole of ADHD, of not being able to get out of bed, staring at my phone, staring at nothing. It's just hard to explain, but it just didn't happen. So April left. And then the summer left, and it just kept going and going and going. And it was one of the things that made me realise that I had used the shop as an excuse in the past. I can't do this, and I can't get my life together, and I can't do that because, you know, I basically worked 2 jobs in the shop, and then when it stopped, and there was no excuse and there was no reason as to why my life was always in a shambles. Yeah. I started to look into that diagnosis. I had a couple of friends who had been diagnosed and had asked whether I considered it. I had then been told by a healthcare psychological professional that it might be worth looking into. And don't get me wrong, in the past I had, but the kind of questionnaire that you can go online and have a look at, whenever I filled it out, it just didn't make any sense. I just was not on the criteria. If I took out my full-time job and I just did it based on my home life, boy, absolute shambles. Absolute shambles. So yeah, took me 8 months, which is actually very good for the UK, and I'm very, very, very grateful. But yeah, my assessor didn't even blink an eye, and I got diagnosed with combined ADHD. And guess what? I am now back doing the shop, which may or may not be a good idea, but we're here. And to be honest, without that break, I probably wouldn't have gone down the path of getting diagnosed, and it has been life-changing. So you never know what's going to happen.